Hi, it's Stacy from Families with Grace, and today I'm talking to you about living out your passion. So, when I share the story about my life and my career path, I almost always share the first time I remember falling in love with writing. I was in third grade in Mrs. Beach's class, and I wrote a story for fun about how a cow got loose in my suburban neighborhood and thus set in motion the entire rest of my life. Seriously, that's pretty much how it went. And this is the story. I have it right here. I still have it. It's kind of cool. I'm excited that, anyway, it's very nice of my parents to keep it because it's a little crazy. But here it is. Okay, so by the time I was in fourth grade, I was writing fiction books for fun. Now, let me also not give you the impression that I was some sort of savant, because I wasn't. Those books were pages and pages of my stories. Sometimes I would break them up into chapters. It wasn't stellar writing, but it was writing, and I loved it. I'm an introvert, and I'm a shy introvert, and that was true in childhood as well. So writing served me well as an outlet and still does to this day. Those stories grew and changed through the years. They evolved. I began with the idea in elementary school that I would be a teacher and a writer on the side. By the time I was a junior in high school, I felt God was leading me to journalism. So I signed up for newspaper class at school and was the editor-in-chief my senior year. I stuck with journalism all through college and graduate school, and I picked magazine journalism to specialize in because I had a great desire to write positive stories. I have essays I wrote for college scholarships talking about how I wanted to be a positive voice in the midst of so much negative media. That has not changed in the 22 years since I first wrote those essays. I still feel the same today, even though the forms of media have changed and evolved with technology through the years. I still love writing. No matter what I'm doing, it remains a part of me. I have taught magazine journalism at the college level as an adjunct professor and enjoyed that. And I will have to say, I found it ironic that the kid who thought she'd be a teacher and write on the side became a writer who taught on the side. So in 2003, I began my own freelance writing business, Written Creations LLC, under which I still operate. I feel incredibly blessed to be able to do work that I love. I know not everyone is afforded that privilege. And I'm blessed by the support and encouragement I've had through the years. My parents have encouraged me. For many years, my mom was my proofreader. She has read more of my writing than anyone else in this world, and she's encouraged me every single step of the way. She is the one who first gave me love for words and for reading from an early age. I also have had teachers throughout my school career who impacted my writing as well, both positively and negatively. Mrs. Beach started it all with reading my cow story out loud to my class, and I got a really good response to that. The following year, I had Mr. Miller in fourth grade and a student teacher who was named Mr. Miles. And one day I was mortified when they read a class assignment of mine out loud as an example. We were supposed to write a story about being stuck on a deserted island and what we would take with us if we could only pick 3 things, but then also how we would get rescued. So my story ended with being rescued by Kirk Cameron, who I then rode off with into the sunset and married. I was so incredibly embarrassed to have that read out loud in front of my classmates. It certainly also got a reaction. Nobody teased me or gave me a hard time, but I was definitely embarrassed. I still didn't stop writing though. In high school, I learned so much grammar and about grammar from Miss Seibold. She ran a tight ship. But that freshman honors English class taught me grammar lessons I still use today and improved my writing. My junior English teacher, Mrs. Hoofengarner, was also tough. She highly criticized an essay of mine. I made some small edits to it, but then that essay won first prize in a local contest, and I was thrilled. And I realized that everyone has a different opinion, and that's true especially when it comes to writing. And sometimes teachers are wrong. My most influential professor in college was definitely Dr. David Sumner. He was the head of the magazine sequence, and I had him for so many classes, where he both challenged and encouraged me. And while I had my fair shares of ups and downs in school, I have never doubted my career path. I knew that writing was for me as much as I knew that breathing was for me. In my career since then as a freelance writer and editor, it's also been up and down, yet I cannot imagine doing anything else. I'm thankful for my husband, who has been my support and encouragement for so many years. Ever since we were 14 and 16, he's kept me going when I felt discouraged. He's reminded me of my dreams when they start to get cloudy. And he sacrifices having a career that he's passionate about just so that I have the freedom to live out my dreams. And I am very blessed by that, and I'm very thankful for that. Writing has been a constant companion for me. It all started with this story that I wrote in the 3rd grade, and a light bulb went off in my brain. I doubt there's anyone I knew growing up, that I went to school with especially, who was surprised that I'm a writer today. Heck, I even drew a picture of author Judy Bloom for a career goal project that I did in 5th grade. And I say all of this for 2 reasons. First, as a parent, this makes me realize the importance of encouraging my kids as they're trying new things. If I had written that story and loved writing it, but my parents and teacher had ignored it or criticized it and told me I was wasting my time, my life might have been completely different and not in a positive way. And second, I want to encourage you to find your passion and start living it however you can. Maybe you have a different version of the story and your passion was stomped on by someone else. Or maybe you are telling yourself that you're not good enough, other people are more qualified, your dream is stupid, or you don't deserve it. Pish posh. Seriously, let it go. Take a step today, no matter how small, toward doing something you're passionate about. Maybe you need to take a class to learn more. Check into what is available in your area. Maybe you need to find funding to start a business. Start researching to figure out what to do and how to do so. We all have a passion for something. We all have a purpose and something we were created for. It doesn't have to be something that you make your whole life and even your full-time job. That isn't always feasible or practical, but find some way to start living that passion. You can do it.